Hi there, welcome to Talk Tuesday, which is a bit late today. I think I probably said last week, as I said most weeks, that I wanted to try and get back to my normal time, but it wasn't possible today because I had a bit of a crazy schedule. So here I am, and good to be here, even though I hope to be back with you early in the day next Tuesday. So anyway, enough of that. I'm going to be talking today about knowing yourself. And the reason for that is because if you don't really know yourself, then it's really difficult to make sure that you be yourself. And I was prompted to talk about it largely because, as I may have talked about to you before, forgive me, I can't remember now. I've recently discovered that I'm what's called an HSP, which is a highly sensitive person. And I've known all my life, or most of my life, about the traits that I have, but I didn't realise that a lot of those are because I'm an HSP. And so I'm currently in the process of reading all I can about HSPs, which is really enlightening for me. And it's nice to know that I'm part of a tribe of HSPs. But you don't have to be an HSP to want to know who you are. And it may be that you already know who you are. I mean, there are basic things that it's important to know for the purposes of your well-being. So, for example, are you a morning person? Are you a night owl? I'm a morning person, which is why I rather do my videos in the morning rather than late in the day, because by the evening my energy is really dipping. You may be the opposite. You might know whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Most people do know that. You might have taken those personality characteristic tests like Myers-Briggs that employers often use to find out what kind of person you are and whether you're going to fit well within a team. There are all sorts of things like that out there. But again, you don't really have to have taken all of these quizzes and tests to find out who you are. It's just about knowing yourself inwardly, who you are and what you like to do. I have definitely talked before about how I pretty much lost myself. When was it? I don't know, I'd like to say about 15 years or so ago, but there came a point in my life where I'd just become so overwhelmed with my work and life generally that I really had lost myself. And when I was asked by somebody what I liked to do, as in outside of work, I really hadn't got a clue what to say. And, that just seems farcical now, but that's the place I was in. And I always encourage my clients when they start work with me to have a real deep dive into what it is that they love to do, because lots of us have forgotten that. And even if we have an idea of what it is we like to do, we're often not doing it. But if you're anything like me and you've been through that losing yourself period, then you just may not even know what you like to do. And so that is a really important part of knowing yourself that you need to find out in order to really enhance your well-being. Another way of talking about it, I guess, and this kind of overlaps with whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, it's kind of what you like to do socially. So, lots of people think, oh, there's a big party coming up, fantastic, everybody would love to come to the party. And actually, I was listening to somebody recently talking about this, lovely Linda Binns, who's another HSP, and she was saying that, she had felt the pressure when people are saying, oh, I'm having a big party to celebrate my birthday, you must come. And she really didn't want to go. And that's because, she, like me, is an HSP and finds those environments draining. But she had come up with this lovely alternative of saying to friends, I'd love to celebrate your birthday with you. How about we go for lunch together? And most people are very receptive to that. And that was a great example of her really knowing herself and doing what is right for her. I've had occasions where I have been invited to social gatherings, but I've had too many in quick succession, and I've just known that I haven't had the energy for it. And in the old days, before I really knew that about myself, I would just go along with what everybody else was wanting to do. That's also part of being a people pleaser, which is something that I am by nature, although I'm learning to put boundaries in place. But I got to the point where I can actually say no to people in terms of going out on those social gatherings. I don't want to do it if I haven't got the energy for it. And I don't have any qualms now about saying to people, I'm sorry, I just can't do that on this occasion, but I'd love to come out with you another time. And that's absolutely fine. You might be somebody who absolutely thrives off going out on these social occasions, and that's great. But again, it all comes back to knowing yourself. You have to know who you are at your core in order to be yourself and do what you want to do and put any necessary boundaries in place. Now, sometimes we shy away from knowing ourselves because we all have a shadow side. We're not all sweetness and light all of the time, certainly far from it in my case. And it's good to know what your shadow side is so that you can deal with it. But if you really struggle to know yourself at all, then I'd encourage you just to spend some quiet time with yourself. Some people are really afraid to sit in stillness with themselves, even for 10 minutes, because they're really worried about what might come up. And some other people, or maybe the same people, it's certainly very common to distract themselves and constantly make themselves busy, going from one thing to the next, because they're frightened to actually sit with themselves and find out who they really are and be who they really are. And so again, I would encourage you to do that. If you don't know who you are and you're feeling lost, then just sitting with yourself is a really good thing to do. But if you find that too much, then, look for help. Talk to somebody who, good friends, close family, they will know who you are. If I could ask my husband, to say, who I am, and he can reel off very quickly my personality, my nature. He just knows me. And other people are the same, and you will have people in your life who know you really well. So if you're struggling with knowing yourself, then that's one possibility. Or if you don't want to ask somebody close to you, then by all means reach out to me, or you might need to go to a therapist, any kind of helper who can really help you talk through what you're feeling and dig down into who you are at your core, because it is so important to know who you are in order to be who you are and be yourself authentically. So I've rambled on for a while now. I hope that you found that helpful. As always, if there's anything you'd like to talk to me about, just get in touch and I'd be more than happy to chat. So thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will be back here again next Tuesday. As always, I'll post the day before what time I should be going live. Okay, bye for now.